Hello everybody and welcome to Season 6, Round 6 of the Spec Esports PC Pacific Open Series. We are going around Spain tonight. I am Nick White. Joined with me tonight is going to be BlackMoon on the CoCom. Should be a pretty thrilling race, even though it's a little bit of hastiness to get us to Spain.
Yes, I'm here. I don't know if anybody will recognize me, but I also do some commentating for Spec in the Endurance PS Pacific League on a Saturday. But I've been invited here by my lovely new friend over at PC Land. And how are you doing?
Yeah, really good. Getting myself mentally ready for this race, because we have a whole bunch of stuff going on, and it could actually get pretty exciting. Qualifying's just starting up at the moment. But we are racing, as I mentioned, in Spain, Circuit de Barcelona-Catalunya. Also, I found out it used to just be called Catalunya, but then they got a sponsorship from the council or something, so they had to put Barcelona in the name as well. But for obvious reasons, we will not be racing at Russia this week. But Spain is, as a track layout, it's kind of similar. There are those big straights and high-speed corners that was kind of dominated the Sochi layout, and they are very much present here in Australia. That pit straight with the DRS zone is absolutely fat, as is that really long right-hander at turn 9, and turn 3 as well even has a few high, flat-out level stuff, which is super duper exciting.
Yeah, and a lot of people kind of make a mockery of Spain, say, it's difficult to overtake, the racing's no good, but from my experience, league racing has been pretty exciting around here.
Absolutely. We had some races here last season, and there were lots of DNFs. I'm not sure exactly when in the race they happened, but I know for a fact there were DNFs. I think only about 8 people finished the race, and it was pretty much a full starting grid, much similarly to tonight. So hopefully we get a bit more of a complete race. Also, notably, Andre Cortez, I believe, racing in the Mercedes tonight. They were P3 here last season. So they do know this track pretty well, so maybe an early contender to actually pull out some of the stops and do a good job. I'm not too sure though.
Yeah, we lost someone already in the Haas, JS44.
They're just trying to be like the real sport, and Haas just not compete.
Yeah, maybe let's get some telemetry going up there, and then we can take a closer look at what's going on track, because most of the drivers have already headed out. A couple of guys already starting some flying laps. A lot of the field on our lap, only a couple of them left in the pit lane at the moment.
Just, I'm not super clued up on strategy wise for these races. Do we excuse me, is it the kind of go to get out as early as you can, or is there any point in waiting and going it towards the end?
Yeah, I mean, you get a little bit of track evolutions, but considering we just got short quali with 18 minutes only, I think the guys will be wanting to get out there, get a good banker lap in, and then you can usually do about 3 runs. I think what will be interesting to see if anybody chooses to go on the medium tyre. If we can get the tyres up there, would be great. We can see what people are out on at the moment.
Okay, so detail.
And then stick up that full track map as well, so we can see.
Oh yes, of course. Thank you.
That'd be great.
Track map.
Yeah, so a couple of guys out in the medium tyre already. Their data setting a 17 dead on the medium, very respectable lap there, in and amongst the soft runners. And whoopsie dearie, there's a 5-place grid penalty with a collision too.
Already?
Indeed. I'm just suffering from some small connection issues at the moment.
Do you need
with
me to share my screen differently?
Yeah, maybe hit me up on Discord too,
Yep.
and then I can give you some better, something a little bit better. That somehow, whatever you just did then, somehow suddenly fixed it.
Oh, really?
Just going to the pause menu. I don't know why. But yeah, just suffering a few technical glitches at the moment whilst we iron this out, and we'll get back into the...
I think we should be okay now, maybe. One of the buggers about having this track come in so last minute is I don't actually know what to expect in regards to lap times and stuff. I was getting... there was a lap times channel in the Discord that we were going through, and there was some solid times going through there, but I have no idea what to expect. But at the moment it is Clunky Boy, who I'm pretty sure went up on pole last week when we were in Belgium, with a 116.668 as of currently. And it's kind of been clunky. They are the only person other than Ivsky to get pole so far. Like, Ivsky's got like 3, Clunky's got 1, maybe even 4 for Ivsky, I'm not sure, but it's been pretty dominant from the Mercedes driver.
Yeah, well, I'd imagine we'd be looking at least I would say around a mid-15, something like that. I would expect to see a few drivers. I think they're sort of just warming up, and at the moment there's quite a lot in the pit lane. Most of them sort of finish their first runs. But yeah, it's quite interesting to see a bit of mixed strategy at the minute. I think the times are very spread out, so we'll just sort of have to wait a little bit and see how this develops.
What I'm also really curious about is what tyres these runs will be done on. Because in theory you're like, oh, it's one lap, you want to be on those softs for sure. But then it depends on what race strategy you want to go with as well. Because last week it was Dada qualifying on the mediums. And that really long first stint benefited them so much around Spa-Francorchamps, and I see no reason why that wouldn't be a similar case here. Maybe a few people might take some notes out of Dada's book and start getting on that medium compound for qualifying, and it looks like Clunky's already doing that.
Yeah, I would imagine so. They'll be seeing a lot of medium runners going around here. I don't know if you want to take us around a lap around this Spa circuit running involved with this Red Bull right now, because I think we're just about to lead up to one.
Yeah, do you reckon leave it on this camera or change it to broadcast?
Yeah. Let's watch this, and you can take us through a flying lap.
It's excited for me too. I get to learn the track layout, but there's a really big first braking zone. They will have got a helping of DRS there as well. And then there's a really wide corner around here for turn 3. That's the one I was talking about just before they started. Ooh, going out the white lines there. That actually got pretty close, but they managed to keep the car on the track. There is a yellow flag in Sector 2 coming up, so the Red Bull will have to watch out for that one. That could actually impede the lap time if that yellow flag doesn't go away. But it's just yellow flags all over the place. Don't even know. It's always something happening. But now they're approaching the DRS zone, gonna get an extra boost of speed down this straight. And there's a really interesting chicane here. I think it's almost a chicane. And it's really interesting, lots of heavy braking zones, and you can kind of treat it as one apex, you can take it 2 apexes. Lots of different ways you can go about it, but the Red Bull seems to be on a decent pace. They're just crossing the minute mark in Sector 3 at the moment. What do I need to do differently to make stream better?
I'm not sure. It's sort of every time you go to the pause menu, I'm getting very smooth running, but every time we're on the actual in-game, for some reason the frame is super low. I'm not sure if we're having some sort of technical issues. I'm not sure if it's connection wise or if it's to do with the output coming from the software.
It says that I have internet issues, which is curious because I shouldn't normally have them around this time.
That is most likely what is happening, because it does appear to be translating to the stream too.
Rats. Okay, what do you recommend?
Fix your internet. I don't know. We don't want to. You don't. I would advise maybe internet restart, but at this stage we can't really be doing that, as we're going to lose connection with the lobby.
Are you watching through Discord?
I'm watching through both.
Okay, I might try and close the one that isn't Discord. See if that saves me a little bit of
bandwidth.
Yeah.
Yeah.
See if I can
Let's try that.
happen. And to see if I can close down everything else that I'm not using.
Yeah, I'll have a look at the official stream too.
Thank you.
Yeah, it's just bear with us for the moment, guys. We just got a few connection issues.
Yeah, I think it should be hopefully getting a little bit better. Also,
let's get off that.
Whack thing about this game is as soon as you alt tab, it comes up to the pause menu every time. Don't know how to fix that. It really upsets me.
Sorry, say that again.
When you alt tab, it comes up with the pause menu. It doesn't just leave the game running.
Yeah, that's very annoying. Anyway, it looks like that's solved now, so we're good to go. I think just check with the chat, guys, if that's better for you guys. There's nobody watching, but that is looking much better at the moment. As we're running into the closing stages now of this qualifying session.
And Clunky's start from really early on hasn't really been contested much as well. I guess Jaco's ripped in a couple of hundreds, I guess, but still.
Yeah, most of the boys switching now to the soft compound, only Ouch in the McLaren now on that medium tyre, so that's interesting, definitely noteworthy on that one if he can hold into the top 10 with the mediums.
Yeah, because it really benefited Data. They climbed like 7 or 8 places on that first stint, and then there was a safety car that negated any of their lost time through pitting. So it actually worked out really well for them, and given the history of DNFs on this track, they have lost it. That's big damage to that Ferrari. Just couldn't quite keep it on. It's a yellow flag in Sector 2. Just couldn't quite keep the car on the track, which is really not the nicest. But we're going to see what Jayco can do. See if they can up their qualifying time. I said a couple of hundreds before. I think I meant a couple of tenths to Clunky. Then maybe they can start to challenge that with this AlphaTauri.
Yeah, I think we're going to be seeing a lot of that heading up the hill there. Turn 7, turn 8. It's so easy to lose the car on those curbs, and it's a very, very tricky point, and I wouldn't be surprised if that sort of happens a few times during the race to various people, but you just have to be, especially in these qualifying laps when they're pushing so hard, just to be that extra bit careful heading up that hill section.
And there it is. Dada does keep the car on the track all the way around, and very nicely too, up to a 116.651. Was on the soft tyre, a bit different to last week. Nonetheless, they are on provisional pole with just over 6 minutes left in this qualifying session.
Shall I take us through a flying lap with JKO as we just alrighty. Well, he is heading down the main straight now with the DRS wide open, hitting the top speeds just about 314 kph there. And he's going to be looking to brake around the 75 meter, gets the apex a little bit wide coming through, choosing not to use too much curb. A bit more curb on apex 2 there, and it's a little bit tricky around there, but then flat out around this long curve, choosing to go a bit of a tighter inside line to minimize time loss as he comes through Sector 1, and he's up a couple of tenths on his time, using all of the track exit coming up around turn 4. Down the hill, tricky braking zone, easy to lock up, but he gets through nice and clearly through there. All of the exit curve now, we're going to see him heading up to turn 7, turn 8, and this is important. This is very easy to tricky and lose it, but he gets there nice and smooth. Is it going to be a lift through here?
I don't know.
Small, tiny lift maybe, but he's hitting the rev limit in 6th gear, bringing down at the 100 meter board, gets that apex nicely up, not choosing to use 2nd gear through there. Interesting, carrying a bit more speed through here. And now this tricky final section, all about keeping it clean through here. And we'll just watch through. He hits that apex, lovely, perfect job there. Again on the last couple chicane, nicely done, clean exit, and he's coming up to the line now. What will this be? Can he improve on his time?
Oh, absolutely.
Yes, he does.
He can. He has just smashed that out of the park. And I think a lot of that, as they set the sector screens purple there, Jayco, I think a lot of that was in that turn 14, 15 chicane moon. They hugged the apex so nicely. You saw them go really, really wide into turn 14, and that let them get enough curb, but also avoid that sausage curve that could be absolutely detrimental to a lap time. So they absolutely nailed that, getting up first time in the 115s.
Absolutely, yeah, it was a beauty to watch that around the last sector, just getting every single apex perfectly hooked up, and that's what you just got to do around here.
I want to see who else is going. King's on an out lap. Looks like that's our only hope. Most of the others are in the pit.
Yeah, he hasn't even set a time yet, has King, and neither has MJ, so kind of we'll see what they can do. Most of the cars in the pits, they'll be coming out in the next minute or so onto their final lap, and also let's point out the fact that everyone has now converted to that soft tyre and given up on the medium.
Yeah, it's a feasible strategy, but this isn't working at the moment. Andre is still a long way away from starting their lap as well. That must have been Ivsky who was going in towards the pit straight there. Which didn't quite go how I wanted it to, but I think there's an AlphaTauri about to start, unless I'm mistaken. No, I think I'm way lost in the source. Hold on. I want to find someone to watch. Aston down there out lap.
Well, it looks like King was on his lap at the moment in the Williams. Oh no,
King.
I'm sorry. No, King's. I'm watching 2 streams at the moment with a slightly delayed one also, just to see if I miss anything. So King, what did happen to King? Unfortunately, I think he was on the main straight, yellow flag there. I'd imagine he just lost it around turn 9. Again, really tricky to do the car on the edge of the grip, and yeah, he'll have gone. Yes, I've just seen that. He'll have gone round at turn 9 on the exit of the straight. Probably got on that curb right round and into the wall on the inside, as we see a Mercedes absolutely losing it.
Yeah, that's Andre Cortez missed seconds into their hot lap, and they just absolutely bin it at turn 2. Just can't get the car on the track. Just misjudged that really wide and long right-hand turn there in sector 2. But it doesn't look like they have too much damage, so they might be able to go around and just have another crack at it and treat this as another outlap.
Yeah, too much of that inside curb at turn 2 there, and avoided the wall. Hopefully he's got enough fuel to go around again, and he can reattempt that take 2. And but still a lot of the cars in the pit lane, which is a bit of a surprise to see.
Yeah, because you have to cross the yellow flag, no, checkered flag, excuse me, before the time runs out. So I think this last lap will be really hectic. I suspect a lot of runs will be interfered with by traffic. But Terminator looks like they might have a bit of a clear run. There's no one really near them at all unless somebody comes out of the pit straight right now. They're about to start their possibly final flying lap. They had a really nice exit out of turn 16, nice and wide to get them as much acceleration on the straight as they possibly could. Oh, just in between the 100 and the 50 board. This is where Andre just booked it, but it looks like Terminator is keeping the Haas on the road very smoothly there through sector 1. Flat out throughout that corner. Now there's another big right-hand turn here, hugging that apex, using a whole lot of curb, but not getting onto that slippery grass. Oh, beautiful use of the track limits there. Half the car was on those red and white strips, which is awesome, just maximizing the racetrack. And now they're going to turn 7 and 8. Almost a little bit of a chicane here, but they do manage to keep it intact still. I don't think they're setting anything particularly on fire here, but they're still having
a bit of a lockup down into turn 5. I think would have cost him quite a bit of time. He is up on his time at the moment, though, so he's looking to improve.
I think this is where we saw Old Mate book it a little bit earlier. They're going into the yellow flag in sector 3, but it looks like they've just gone past that. So hopefully that won't interfere with them too much. And there's that turn 14-15 chicane I was talking about earlier with Jaco. They got a little bit of sausage curb, but nothing too awful. They do not...
That is invalidated. He went wide on the exit of the final corner, just too much of that curb on the exit, and unfortunately that's an invalidation right at the end. He might be able to go again though if he's got enough fuel. I think he's still going to... but he'll have validated his next lap as well, so he is done and dusted for this session.
Yeah, it would, because going wide on the last apex will compromise the acceleration on the next lap, of course. That's really unfortunate for Terminator. They were onto something maybe not bad there. It looks like they were down nearly a whole second. Like,
yeah, who's left? Who's left? We've got Ashtray. Ashtray and Clunky Boy are the only cars, and Dodge are the only cars still running at the moment. Most of the... whoops. Ashtray's gone round.
Jaco's just set another fastest lap, another one into the 15s, but they have been dominating this qualifying session here in Spain at that Alpha Tauri. Holy dooly.
And can Clunky Boy respond? That's the question.
It looks like they were up about a second on their previous best time. Yeah, they're nowhere near it.
He's slowed down there. So Jaco absolutely dominating this session, pumping in those fastest laps.
Who else is around that we can look at?
That is it, I think. I think that's it. Terminator's done as well. We are done. The Alpine's just having a bit of a mess right at the end there. Clunky Boy giving up on his lap there, and Ashray going around on his flying lap, and that sort of handed it to Jaco with that pretty commanding final lap that he did.
It has. So we have our third pole sitter for this race spec PC Pacific Open Series here in Jaco, running in the Alpha Tauri here for the Spanish Grand Prix. Clunky Boy, it looks like, will be joining them at the front row of the grid. Another really solid qualifying performance from them. They started from that number 1 slot last week, and it looks like they are number 2 here this afternoon. Dada doing a lot better in the qualifying than previously. I read their stats, and they gain a lot during the race. Normally their qualifying isn't as good, but they on average gain like 6 positions every race. So they looked really...
Definitely one to watch then.
Yeah, because they don't have to worry about making up all those positions. If they can keep their defense strong, they might actually be able to pull something out. which they had a really good race last week. I'm pretty sure they were second. So another one for the Drivers' Championships would be really solid for their standings.
Yeah. Looks like because Ashray did not improve on his time on the soft tyre, he'll be starting on those mediums in P9.
Very similar to what happened to Dada last week, and after seeing how they dominated, I'm hopeful for Ashray. They might actually be able to pull something out here in the Alpine. So it'll... Oh god, will they just be able to go just so much longer on that first stint, and that's what will benefit them? They won't have to worry about pitting at the same time as everyone else?
Yeah, I mean, obviously the strategy for this race is a pure one-stop soft medium or mediums. Well, actually, you can do it medium, soft, medium, although some people do tend to go soft hard. So depending on their tyre wear and how good they are at looking after their tyres, so I'd imagine most people will be going to the hards after the soft. And that will give Ashray the free choice of, can he stretch that first stint on the mediums, go to the softs for a rapid finish, or will he play it safe and go hards? I mean, but safety cars could dictate everything.
Safety car, that's what messed it up for... Not messed it up, but made the race as exciting as it was last week, I guess. I didn't even notice it was going until very late into the race, so hopefully I'll actually pick it up this week if it comes through.
The magic eye keeps an eye on the top left and bottom right corners of your screen, and that is the place to be looking. And it is quite irritating though when those yellow flag sectors come up, because you cannot see the lap count or their timers. And yeah, these guys are away on their formation lap. Let's get all that telemetry data up ASAP.
Oh,
and
did it go away? That's
yeah, it goes away in between the sessions, so you have to rejig it all back to life. And maybe we'll just let's get the tires up, see what everyone's choosing on tire wise. And yeah, the majority there in the someone been disqualified from the session already. That's going to cost him a little bit with tire warm up, not starting on ideal temperature.
Wait,
but maybe you want to take us through the grid quickly.
They got disqualified. So does that mean they just have to start from 20th or start from the pits?
No. They will just be starting from their grid position, but they will not be able to heat up their tyres on this formation lap. So they'll have probably a poor another disqualification from the format. What is going on here?
So the soft and the mediums. We thought it was just Ashray running in P9 at the moment who was rocking the mediums, but a lot of that bottom half of the grid is excluding King, who will be rounding up the whole group. But we do have Jaco, Clunky Boy, Dada, I Love Controller, Dodge, Ivsky, Old Mate, Ouch My Chin, Ashray, and Andre rounding out the top 10. And then the rest in the mediums, Max Strapon, that's a great name. Whitefoot, DJ, Jank, Terminator, Spidery, MJ, JS44, Rodriguez, and King. So, one thing I kind of noticed there is, so Ouch My Chin has the best qualifying at P7 at the moment. That is their best. They're pretty on standard for that one there in P8 at the moment, but they climb a lot during the race. It's a pretty similar situation to Dada. So I think it might have even been them that gets a lot, during the stats, during the gains in the race, excuse me. So that might be Ouch My Chin getting those, so watch out for them. Let's get this camera set up. And
King there in P20, he's on that soft tyre, so he's going to be one to watch too on the start. But let's keep an eye on the front line of the grid as they head down into turn one. We'll just keep that on the broadcast cam, and hopefully we'll get a good angle heading down into the first corner and see how they maybe on the
little further back.
Let's go broadcast cam from P3. Not their T-cam, and it's just I would imagine once the lights go out it will change to POV from the first corner, and we'll see the cars heading towards us, and you'll be able to get a good angle there. I'll let you take us off for the race start.
Okay.
The honours are yours.
Very exciting. We are about to get underway here for the Spanish Grand Prix, just waiting for the lights. They're taking their sweet old time about it. I'm curious to see if these DQs for Andre and Max will actually cost them anything in the race. Held for a while on that spot, but the fifth light drops and we are racing here in the Spanish Grand Prix down this massive initial straight into turn one. It is Clunky Boy immediately got the jump on Jaco, so they will be leading going into turn one. The AlphaTauri losing position early. They will have to try and gain that up. Looks like everybody has kept it pretty nice and clean turn 2 and 3. Nobody crashing out just yet, doing better than last year already. But there's no DRS for the first 2 laps. I lied. So there will not be DRS coming up here. But still, Clunky just got such a good jump there. Was that the reaction time?
I didn't quite see the start from their angle, but he just got a great run down the inside, didn't he? I think if his Jayco just got a poor exit, but a couple of the cars going 3-4 wide into the first couple of corners. Maybe you can just hit up the position change to see what has happened there in the first couple of open laps. King, they're already gaining up 4 positions from the start due to that soft tyre advantage that he has, but plenty of position jostling happening in the medium back, in the middle of the back. Yeah, MJ online there, good 5 positions up, wow.
That is a massive climb for them, but the other big one, I guess, is
yellow flag.
Ooh, what's that
Yellow
there?
flag. There's a Mercedes. The Mercedes has gone round Andre Cortez, going round at turn 11, probably on that curb, heading up the hill. Very easy to do, but it looks like he's got the car going. And I wonder if he's picked up any damage. Maybe we can take a quick peek at Andre at the back there. He hasn't had any of the pits, so I'm guessing he's good.
Was that the same spot where they lost their qualifying lap? Was it the same place? Because if so, that'll really like mess up their confidence for the rest of this race. Well,
he spun on curb 2 in qualifying, and so that was near the start.
Oh, of course it was. Yeah, I remember that.
All 20 cars still in this race. It's great to see clean getaway. What a kind of battles we're going ahead and go. Ashray and Ouch My Chin having a little scrap between the two. And what else have we got going on down here? But yeah, all the pack very close together. Those couple of cars at the front though, already pulling away, opening that 1 second, ever crucial 1 second gap. And we've got a car that's gone around going up the hill in turn 7. Who's that?
Right. That's Wyford in the Red Bull. I'm pretty sure they've got put up, perhaps maybe with Jank and the Alpha Tauri as well. I think those two might have.
Oh, we've lost Cortez on the main straight as well. The main, and that's a virtual safety car straight away. I don't know how he's done that. He's gone around halfway down the straight, and he is out of this race, unfortunately.
Yeah, very early exit for the Merc. They were P3 here last year, so nowhere near living up to those results that they might have been hoping for. This virtual safety car should be theoretically grouping everybody up, but they're still maintaining...
No, virtual keeps the distances between the cars hopefully exactly the same, just neutralizes the race, and they all have to stick to a delta, a much slower delta, while the accident can be cleared away. A couple of guys using this and just been enabled and the racing get underway, but one of the Williams there choosing to the Alpine choosing to pit under that virtual safety car, sort of gaining a bit. He's still in the pits there. I'm guessing it's a wing change, a bit of a slow stop for him, and off he goes. But yeah, choosing to use that virtual safety car to sort of make up a bit of a time with the pit stop.
They are, and they're approaching the DRS zone here in the McLaren. Ashmachin might be able to get a little bit of jump on Ashray if they are within that 1 second past the DRS detection zone. But down the straight and down the main straight as well might be where Ashray gets chopped up. But even so, they're closing up to the Mercedes and the Astons in front of them. So it could.
We've lost the Ferrari. Sorry to interrupt, but Ferrari and a Haas heading up the hill into turn 7. Terminator, he's got going, but the Ferrari is old mate. In the Ferrari has gone round at turn 7 and he's out of this race, but Terminator might have damage, but he's got going again.
I think Ashray might as well. We just saw them careen off there at around that 13 mark, while in a not even super heated battle with Ouch My Chin, but they just kind of lost the car, and that is a significant position drop from them, all the way down from 7th to 11th.
Yeah, MJ line overtaking Max Strappon on the straight there, just behind Ouch My Chin, who we're watching at the moment.
This front pack, they're still kind of close here. Like, oh, actually, that's a lot of time gain for Jayco in that corner, but as the accelerator goes down, Clunky does get to put the distance between those cars again. I'm not super sure of where the overtake spots are on here, but you can see both the cars really using the curve here, just trying to lose as little time as possible.
Yeah, I think well, these guys are pulling a bit of a gap on the drivers behind, so they're probably not in too much pressure at this stage. Probably working together a little bit just to pull away from the pack, and then just to get away from those guys. JKO got plenty of energy still with his car. Maybe we can just take a quick look at Clunky Boy and have a look how much energy he has currently got, because he might be using that a lot more than... Yeah, he's used up a little bit more, and I wouldn't be surprised JKO is going to go for this overtake down the main straight. He's gone defensive. as Clunky Boy on the inside. Jaco looking for a slipstream, moves to the inside. Side by side to one around the outside. What a job from Jaco there, retaking. Oh no, he's still side by side through here. They're going to go for a drag race down into turn 4, around the outside, which will become the inside, so it's not an end of the battle yet. He's going to swoop around the outside. This is the inside now. He's going to be able to force Clunky Boy. Maybe have a quick look behind. Where is Clunky Boy? And JKO is through here into turn 5 on the exit.
Yeah, it's still super close though. I thought that maybe Clunky had given up on that battle and was going to come back and fight another day. As they go wide there through turn 9, it looks like they are ready for another crack at it. Ooh, trying it, not quite getting it done. They'll have another chance for those at the turn 14-15 chicane, and if not, they are within that 1 second. And with DRS enabled now in this race, they will. Jacob might actually get chomped up in this main straight here. They're going through the DRS.
Clunky Boy absolutely depleted his battery defending. He's only got about 10%. Jaco having harvested and sort of reserved that battery, he might struggle a little bit to catch up to this AlphaTauri.
Yeah, I think they got a lot worse of an exit throughout turn 16 as well. Otherwise, they might have had an opportunity down into turn 1 where this whole battle started last lap. So pretty extended stuff. Oh, nearly losing the car, but managing to stay on top of things. Also, all that defending, that tussle between Jaco and Clunky has meant that now Dada has gained a lot of ground. They are within a second here as well, so it could very quickly become a 3-car battle.
Yeah, Clunky Boy just sort of didn't seem to have the car with him in the final sector, but he has regained that a little bit through coming through the first part of the sector. I just wonder if these guys have slightly differing setups with differing downforce levels, because that AlphaTauri of JKO looked very strong on the straights, and Clunky Boy just did not have an answer even with the DRS.
Also, I'm not sure if it's on mine or not, your mic is getting a bit robotic. It very well could be me and my garbage internet. Just letting you know in case it is on your end. Oh, that's very quiet. Yeah, I still can't hear you if you're talking at the moment, I'm not sure. Oh, they were really close there, Iski, but they're going into pits super early actually. Which is an interesting decision. Are they going over to the hard tyre like you suspected? No, it is going to be a set of the Pirelli mediums going on to the Mercedes. Why pit in so early in this race? They're going for a really long stint on the mediums, or are they trying to do a two-stopper?
Yeah, I'd imagine a two-stopper, but two-stopper is very much not the strategy to be running around here. It's far slower than a one-stop. Of course, we could have a safety car which could change that all up to... Yeah, not an ideal strategy, I would say, at this point in the stage race. I was just double-checking the audio from the actual stream, and my audio is about 10 times louder than yours at the moment, so you might want to just notch me down on the Discord or boost yourself a little bit.
Okay, I'll knock you down. Let me know how that sounds as well.
Then a one-stop. Of course, we could have a safety car which could change that all up to, yeah, not an ideal strategy.
But then I can't hear you at all.
So I just I was listening back. Okay. I just muted myself while I was checking back at our levels. Apologies once again for the technical difficulties. Just having a few minor little glitches here and there, but we'll iron those out as we go throughout this race.
Yeah, I'm hopefully going to get a better hang of this production thing as I do it more. But Max, they were going to have a go at Ash Machine down the straight, but no, they choose to pit. So maybe Ivsky has actually pulled a little bit of a number here, and a few drivers are actually going into the pits super early. Has Ivsky convinced them all? Has he pulled off the heist and convinced them all that two-stopper is the way to go?
Well, maybe. I just want to point out as well that the Haas of Terminator has gone round again at turn 7, that catching him out twice now in this race. A tricky corner, as we see just ahead there, the Alfa Romeo going very wide through turn 3.
Very wide, and it might give an opportunity for Ashray to have a go at them throughout this windy part of Sector 2. Oh, it looks like they went wide themselves there, Ashray, so maybe negating that advantage that they got from the mistake from DJ. Will they have a go at it into this next DRS zone is the question. No, I think it's too much of a gap there.
Terminator causing some more yellow flags coming around the final corner. And maybe chuck up the tire information. Oh, wow, is he getting around at turn 9? Because that is an incredibly impressive spot to get past there. And then we got another Mercedes-powered car down the inside.
Yeah, it's the dive bomb, but Rodriguez almost put themselves in such a compromising position for the next turns that they nearly lost that position to JS again. But no, Rodriguez is able to hold their lead despite going super duper wide.
Coming around. What's going on here? Does he have damage in the Haas? Almost losing it on the exit. I'm not sure what's going on here with this Haas. It is, he's having a real struggle. He's on that older tyre, the other guy's on the fresher tyre, so maybe that is the reason behind that.
Oh, excuse me. Sorry. Yeah, I'm not too sure. The Haas looked very squirrely at the end of Sector 3 there. But now, the majority of the drivers are on the medium tyres. MJ started on them, and look at the position it's put them in. They were down very low down the grid, and now they have put that McLaren up into second place, albeit very far away from Clunky, who is still yet to pit. But as these pit stops kind of unfold, MJ being able to go on the longest stint might actually have been a benefit for them again.
Yeah, we'll see how his strategy plays out. If he chooses to do that one stop and he's got a decent pace with it, he could be looking at some serious position gain here, because I think a lot of the guys with those early pit stops are potentially committing to a 2-stop. It seemed quite early to change onto that medium tyre, as our race leader had pitted 2, and is he pitting again at the moment? He seems to be very out of position. I'm not sure what's happened to JKO. So there's lots of yellow flags happening around here in the last couple of sectors. There's another Haas, a stricken Haas in Sector 3. So, yeah, lots of errors happening all over the field at the moment.
Dodge did lose the rear end of the car a little bit in Sector 3 there. I thought perhaps Rodriguez had an opportunity to go for the overtake, but no, they do not. And I don't think they have DRS down straight either. And with low battery supply, they might be able to make it happen down the straight. But through the curvier sections with the higher downforce, maybe they can get the jump on their teammate.
Just looking at, as we see our final car from the front group having pitted with Clunky Boy on those fresh medium tyres, and another more yellow flags. Ashray picking up a penalty there for corner cutting. These cars are going to take a few laps to sort themselves out with their differing strategies, and that was incredibly close from Rodriguez coming through that turn. Quick reaction from him there.
Yeah, that was nuts. Would that have taken them out of the race, or would they have phased through them there?
I'm not sure. I'm just going to watch that back on the slightly delayed stream and see exactly what happened there and who that was, because that just seemed to be parked up there on the exit.
Yeah, I think I'm not even sure who it was.
He was not ghosted. Can confirm he was not ghosted, and that would have been a huge incident in that section. I have no idea what that car was doing sitting on the outside of turn 9. I can only imagine he had to spin and hit the wall and came back onto the track.
Seems to be no other option. DJ does get a time penalty as well. They're pretty high up as well. That will drop them down a good 2 or 3 places. Ashmachin is trying to get the dive bomb down the inside into turn 1. Looks like they do make that move stick very late in the brakes. Wonderful move from the McLaren there. Sorry for cutting you off.
Those who say you can't overtake around here, we have seen plenty of overtakes so far in this race.
We have. It's been really, really exciting. That dive bomb down into turn 1 is one of the better ones we've seen as well. And we had that big battle between Jayco. God, who else was there?
Jayco and Clunky Boy, but it's interesting. I think Jayco has had an issue because I think he had to pit again. He's on those fresh mediums, so I reckon he stuck another set on after some damage. So that's really done some damage to his race, and chances of a win here. It's going to be very difficult to recover from that. He's 20 seconds off the rear car, and that puts Clunky Boy in a very good position for this race win. At the moment, the strategies are still playing themselves out, so of course Clunky Boy is in P6 at the moment, but those cars in front will have to pit again. Potentially, Clunky Boy may not.
True, the one stopper and just not losing that time in the pits could make it out with tire deg as well. So many people getting warnings. So
Yeah,
many.
Data finally in the pits on those 11-lap old soft tires, which is are the Alfa Romeos double stacking down at I wonder if they cost themselves a little bit of time there. Well, what's happening here? There's a ghosting car.
I was pressing the wrong button. I'm sorry. I forgot how to observe in this game. Hold up.
Yeah, the Alpines having a little go at each other there. Clunky Boy and Ashray. Clunky Boy getting past Ashray. I think there might have been a bit of team orders down at Team Alpine. Ashray on the 11-lap old medium tyres. Differing strategies. Definitely does not want to hold up Clunky Boy, who's on that alternate strategy.
So, for those who aren't super clued up, Moon, do these drivers in the teams actually communicate each other throughout the race and have strategies, or is it very much focused on the Drivers' Championship?
I will answer that question in 1 second. I can see in the chat there, apparently JKO got glitched, had to leave the lobby, and it won't invite him back, so looks like he's out of this race, and it's AI controlled. And in answer to your question, it depends on the driver, and I think it depends on the team spirit. I tend to myself communicate with my teammate always, because you don't want to end up in a situation where both cars come into the pits on the same lap and you end up having to double stack and lose time. And say in this example with the two Alpines, Clunky Boy on that alternate strategy, Ashray could have fought him, but didn't. I don't think there was much fighting there. He got past him, doesn't want to hold him up, so it would be a smart thing for teammates to work together, I would imagine.
Okay, I wasn't super clued up on what was happening there.
Yeah,
so.
maybe you can do some research for us in the interim between the next race and see if some of these guys work together or not. Sometimes there's a Ferrari, I think, that's gone around on the main middle straight.
Could even have been. Was it the Alpha?
It's an Alpha.
Yeah, it looked like it might have been the Alpha of DJ spinning around there, but there's also super heated duel going on down here. Spidery trying to get the jump on Data. This gap is so close. Going around that windy section in turn 12, but unable to find anything. But as always here at Circuit de Catalunya, they will get the DRS down the main straight. But no, Dada is pitting, so that duel has been taken so nastily from their hands.
Yeah, that's a bit odd, because he must have just come on the pits. Well, the Alpha's pitted that previous lap for fresh tyres, so I can only imagine there was damage from this previous incident on that main straight with the Alfa, the Ferrari and the Alfa Romeo.
Yeah, that could have been the yellow flag in Sector 2 as well. Maybe it was that car who had the damage, and that's why that
Indeed. Maybe just have a quick look, see if he's changed his wing in the pits, although it might be a little... He seemed to be in the pits for a while, so I'd imagine there was a front wing change there.
Okay. That explains a lot then. Hold up. Wait, these two are going to be super close going at it though. And Spidery trying to... Let's keep on getting stuck behind Alfa Romeo, Spidery is in the Ferrari.
I think the Alfa Romeo there on that fresh soft tyre is going to have that advantage over the Ferrari and those old mediums.
Should do. How old are those mediums? We've got 13 laps on.
Whoa, you saw him struggle on the exit out of that hairpin there, and you can definitely see struggling on those medium tyres. I was about to say, didn't think it was going to be too hard for DJ to break that 1 second gap through that sector, but Spidery making that mistake, making it very easy for him.
God, there might be a little bit of a
what's
duel
happening
here,
here?
though. Ivsky might be having to go to Ashray. But there's a car right behind him as well, so they have to keep their eyes on the road and in those rear view mirrors as well, making sure that they don't get overtaken. They're getting super close to Ashray here, getting down the slipstream. Oh, they nearly banged wheels, but what a move into turn 13. 14, 15. Oh, whoa, I'm looking at the wrong place, never mind. No, they're just going through turn 9 at the moment. That's where they made the move stick. The Mercedes, Ivsky, up into third place with that one.
Unconventional place to overtake going up the hill. You really need a compliant adversary to get up through there. But Ivsky on those much fresher medium tyres, alternate strategy, gets the job done. I mean, you would have thought he might have waited for the straight for an easier move, but no, off he goes, gets the move done in a great unconventional spot. But Ashray is going to have the DRS now because of that earlier overtake, but I don't think the pace in those medium tyres is going to allow him to keep up with the Mercedes.
Yeah, that gap along the straight has not closed too much at all unless they go for some bonkers dive bomb, but even that I don't think they're in a position to. Both drivers braking pretty late there, so they're still worried about each other.
Yeah, he's going to try his best to hold onto the back of that Mercedes and try and just tuck into the slipstream and get pulled along, I think, is the strategy there. And stay in this DRS, maybe not go for the overtake, just get pulled along with the faster car, with the faster tyre. But currently MJ online on that alternate strategy, not pitted yet. 15-lap old medium tyres in the lead. Clunky Boy in his mirrors closing that lead gap down.
When MJ does pit from the lead, they'll probably be taken down to, I want to say, about P7, I think. Maybe even P6. So they will have lost a fair bit, but if they chuck on another set of mediums, even the hard, and this is what you were talking about earlier, we do see a few drivers on the hard compound tyres, notably Spidery, who's just starting their stint on them. But I'm imagining that Spidery will not pit again in this race unless absolutely necessary.
Indeed, I would agree with you on that one. They're going to go right to the end on those hard tyres. I just wonder if those guys on the low wear medium tyres will also be able to do the same thing.
Go to the end of the race.
Yeah, it'll be a tough ask. I think it's possible, but it'll be a tough ask for them.
Oh yeah, they might start to feel the tyre degradation at some point. Oh. What happened there to Dodge?
It's a little bit loose on that tricky curb. It's some drivers prefer to take more of that curb, some do not. And but those that do, you got to be very careful on that curb. There's some of these curbs absolutely dangerous, especially the curb he's going to be coming up to now up the hill, turn 7 and turn 8. Hit that curb in the wrong way, and that's an insta spin. You're going right around here. This one in particular on the inside. See how he completely avoids that and that one there. Not confident on those curbs at all.
Wait, why have we lost the times?
The interval, that occasionally happens. Some sort of timing glitch to do with lag. They will reset at the end of this lap once the leader goes past the start-finish line. I've had that happen to me a few times recently, but yeah, they'll come back once the leader hits the start-finish line.
Okay, I was a little bit spooked there.
Yeah, that happened to me a few weeks ago for the first time, and I got very spooked when that happened. But there you go. Here we go. The interval's coming back now.
Ooh, that's what we want to see. Ooh.
What is going on with that? I noticed that earlier. That Red Bull has been ghosting, and I just wonder if he's had the same issue as Mr. Flukesy reported in the chat with JKO getting glitched too. I see a lot of low connection bars in this lobby hovering above some of the drivers, and JKO there getting a speeding in the pit lane, also retiring in the pit lane there, I believe. Yeah, I think there might be some poorer connection here going on with the host, and maybe that's why we were sort of lagging out at the start, potentially.
I'll take that excuse, so that maybe my internet doesn't call for beating. Let's go.
But yeah, I don't think that Max is in charge of his car there, considering the ghosting.
Yeah, I'll swap up to something maybe a little bit more intense. Oh, actually, there's a really close battle going on down here. Hold up. These two are going to be going at it like wolves. Was King not in a position to get a really later break down into turn 1 through the wider section, turn 2 and 3. They are keeping their distance, and yeah, that is the AI of JK, so that has just been confirmed there. It's actually put a little bit of distance between Data and the Williams here.
Mr. Flukesy reporting JKO pitted, and when he stopped in his box, they would not let him out of the box, so he was stuck sitting there. So that's what happened. So JK have an absolute nightmare of a race. I don't know. It sounds like it's not really his fault with his connection and everything like that. So it's very, very frustrating for him.
Is that just like an RNG thing in the game that they lose out because of that?
I think there was some sort of glitch / lag / connection issues causing that, and that's thanks Cody's. Hats off to you guys with your... Oh no! King! One of those... What was I just saying about earlier about those dodgy curbs? And you know what? I'm impressed that he got away with that one. He's lost his wing, but it could have been a lot worse. I've seen people go off there and absolutely wreck their car.
Yeah, the fact that it's this Williams is still going at all is a testament to how strong the cars are, but they will absolutely have to pit right now, and yes, they are. That'll be a front wing change. How will that...
Do not speed in the pit lane here with that missing front wing, and yeah, it gets slowed down just in time.
But those are some pretty old tyres they were on either way, so they're probably planning on pitting either way. Obviously, damage is never good, but they probably needed to change the tyres either way, so at least they don't have to pit twice.
Indeed, indeed. Our race leader in the pits now changing onto that soft tyre, so he is definitely, I believe, going to go for this one stop from the medium to the soft. Yeah, where's he going to come out? In P6, it looks like the Aston Martin is quite far behind, so he's got a charge on for him for the rest of the race. I'm tipping my hat to, I'm tipping it to MJ. He's currently penalty less. He's on that soft tyre. Sure, he's about 6 seconds off the car in front, but they're going to be battling a little bit as they're quite close together. He's got a lot of work to do, but I can see, yeah, there's definitely a podium on the cards for MJ, I believe.
The question is, will the soft tyre be able to go all the way? Because given how early everybody else pitted on those softs, maybe they just weren't handling over the longest stints. There's so many drivers that are ghosted at the moment, God.
Yeah, I think we're in a bit of a cursed lobby at the minute, unfortunately, with the connection issues.
Can we get a quick RIP to Australian internet? It happens to the best of us.
Clunky Boy in the pits, so only 10 and 12 laps on those medium tyres. That just seems incredibly short. They just have absolutely no confidence in trying to do a one-stop. They're going for that hardcore two-stop. Not usually the quickest way around here, especially if people are going to be running a one-stop. And I think that really helps out MJ. He's on fresh soft tyres. He's got track position as he comes out just in front of our what was our, I guess, original race leader if we discount JKO. These guys, it's a straight battle to the end. And, well, we'll see if the two cars in front of them come into the pits. If they can do a one-stop, they're in a good position too. From what I've seen so far, with people sort of not having confidence to, or not having the ability to control their tyre wear as well as maybe some of the other guys in the lobby. Not sure if Ashray will be coming in or not, but he's in a pretty good spot too.
Surely they'd have to come in 20 lap old mediums. They've been running those since the start of the race, essentially.
Yeah, you would have thought.
But it will put them in a pretty good position for, I guess, a pseudo one-stopper, because they did have to stop, obviously, to change to those mediums at some point. But for the softs on the final stint, they'll be the youngest soft tyres out there, so it could actually benefit them if they don't lose too much position to the pits.
Yeah, what MJ really needs to do right now is break free of the DRS of Clunky Boy, because that is directly who is racing. As we see the two cars coming into the pits, unsurprisingly, yes, they are in, and these two are going to be racing for the lead win here. MJ defending on the inside. Wow, Clunky Boy just barges his way through the inside. He's left a little bit too much space on the inside, did MJ, and that has let Clunky Boy through. So you see yellow flag sector 3. They're still going to fight, I think, through here. Is he still behind him? MJ? Oh, yeah, he's dropped back a little bit.
Also, I think that was the Mercedes of Ivsky having a little spin there in sector 3.
That's absolutely ruined his strategy completely. And yeah, that's kind of knocked him out for the count for the race win, I think, today.
Tough weekend for the Mercedes. Andre being taken out super early. Ivsky not having the best of luck keeping the car on track either. And Dodge, they will have to pit before this race, so you're absolutely right. It will be Clunky Boy and MJ who will be able to go to the end of this race. I
think Dodge can go to the end, but he will really struggle to get to the end of this race. So I wouldn't be surprised if we see him come in. But well, currently he's got track position, and we know track position is kind of king. Although, you know, we have seen quite a few overtakes this afternoon, so maybe it's not as king as you would usually happen. But Clunky Boy, look at that. He's on those mediums, and he's pulling a gap on MJ on the softs, which is quite a surprise.
It's a complete flip of the situation we had last lap. Last lap it was MJ setting the fastest lap, and then Clunky Boy getting the late break into turn 1. MJ not able to complete the mirror lap, I guess. and they are remaining in third place, but still they might have a few opportunities to overtake. The softs should still be the better tyre here, but the thing is, they don't have the luxury of being able to push them super hard, because the softs do have to make them to the end of this race if they want to make this strategy work. Clunky Boy, the mediums might have a little bit more resilience, so they can possibly go a bit harder. So MJ has to be a little bit conservative still, which might be hindering how much they want to get past this Alpine.
Well, you know what? I'd actually say the opposite. MJ Online has to push right now. He has to get past because his tyres will not last as well as the medium tyres. He's got to get the job done right now. Give it another 5 laps and those softs will start going off and it'll be all Clunky Boys for the taking.
Oh, okay, that does make sense actually, yeah. Alright, just completely
he could look after them a bit better, but I just don't think they're going to have the longevity over the medium tyre regardless how well he looks after them, unless he is some kind of tyre wear god.
Long lost descendant of Checo Perez.
Well, maybe. Who knows? Checo Perez did used to drive for McLaren. Maybe his ghost still lives in that car.
Wasn't that for like one season and it was kind of awful?
It was...
Was it okay?
It was a couple, I think.
Okay.
Maybe. It was when the McLaren... It was a long time ago. It was when Jenson Button used to race in.
Oh, yeah, okay.
It was when Checo was just starting out. He was a little rookie. And, he caused quite a few scenes with Jenson. Didn't get along with him too well.
We love that. Great team chemistry.
These guys now have caught up to Dodge. And who's in the lead at the moment with their pace. Whoa!
Yeah, Dodge just completely lost that car.
How are people doing that? I'm going to watch that back on the slightly delayed cam, but he was down the straight. It was not even close to the corner, so I'm not sure how he lost the car. I'll have a closer look at that one for you guys.
It's like Max Verstappen and Baku. Lance Stroll might be the better comparison considering they are the Aston. But the thing is, that top 3 had such a big gap to everybody else that they are still so far ahead. Like, Dodge still has a good 10 seconds on their next adversary. But here's MJ potentially going for the overtake. Going around the outside. Clunky Boy opted for the inside. And it looks like either way they're going to make that move stick. They managed to get the inside line going into turn 3, and it looks like that move has actually stuck there. Wow.
Yeah, good job from MJ there. Now he needs to pull away. This lap, he needs to set a perfect lap, pull out of that 1 second, and that will make his life a lot easier, because we've seen so far, you can overtake around here. Clunky Boy can overtake, so can MJ, so but it's definitely DRS assisted, I would say. So if he can break that 1 second gap, look at that battery levels, very, very low. He needs to get out of this 1 second. And going back to Dodge, what happened was he got on the outside curb there, got a bit of a tank slapper, controlled it, went out to the right, and then the tank slapper flipped. Whoa! Clunky Boy overcooking it into the brakes, and straight to the back of NJ. Let's get an off-board shot and see if he took any damage from that. I'm just going to get the right camera angle. Front wing looks intact. Yeah, so luckily got away with that one.
Yeah, that could have been really, really bad. They're battling for the lead, compromising both of the drivers, but it looks like they've both got away relatively unscathed, and they're going down the main straight. Will Clunky have the audacity to go for the late break? It looks like they might actually be going for it.
Not quite close enough this lap. He can afford to sit behind him for a few laps, and you know, I would advise probably doing that, because if you look at his energy, it's so low. He's still using it. He needs to settle in, not get too rash, just settle in behind him, recharge the battery, wait for those soft tires to go off in a couple of laps time, and then mount an offensive in the last couple of laps. That was what I'd say. How much, let's just have a quick squeeze at how much battery MJ has. Yeah, he's also got similar levels too. So, they're both in the same boat there, but I would definitely say advantage Clunky Boy. He may be behind, but those medium tires are going to last longer, and yeah, he should be trying to recharge that battery and go for a move in a couple of laps time. Patience is often the key in this game. Patience.
Does Clunky Boy have that patience though? Because it still looks like they're chomping to get past them right now, and they, crucially, MJ has not made that 1 second gap a reality, so they will be at the mercy of DRS down the main straight. As we start lap 27, it'll be really close. We've seen Clunky do it down here to turn 1 before, just MJ leaving a little bit too much space around the inside, leaving even more space this time. Clunky does go for the move, very similar situation. Gets back in front of that McLaren, gets the brakes off, but no! This time MJ is going at it, not wanting to give up this position, and they touch! They touch! Clunky boy spins!
Yeah, he just I'm gonna watch that back on the delayed and give you a better picture there. But yeah, he just stuck his nose in, didn't he? Into the inside. MJ online, very lazy, sort of slow moving across, not defending too hard. Clunky boy gets past him, but the McLaren's still there. I think they were both on the edge of the grip there, and yeah, touched a few times, bounced and then bounced back on him. There was just about enough car space, I would say, on the inside for Clunky boy. And maybe a bit more space could have given by MJ on the inside, but yeah, they just bounced into each other a few times, so that is really, really unfortunate. And well, I'm sure the stewards will be looking at that later, and there might be a decision made on that. But currently, after that, MJ in a pretty clear position for the win at the moment.
Yeah, their nearest person is about 10 seconds behind on 18 lap on mediums with Dodge. So Clunky doesn't look like they've lost too much position. They're still only down in third and within a second of second place. So, did they somehow not get damage from that collision?
What? Yeah, it looks like it. He's still going. So P2 is definitely still on the car. Dodge on those old tires. I don't think he took the what's it, safety car. So I missed. It's the Haas of Terminator. He's gone round at turn 11 where we saw someone go around earlier. I forget who it was. I think it was one of the Williams. Yeah, again, so easy around that curve. Maybe we can just ride on board with one of the other Williams, maybe King or Love Controller, or is that an Alpine? Who's coming around the main straight right now? And the car's been cleared away. Yes, this car here. So so he's coming around. What has happened is he's come around the hairpin. Has the Haas come up the hill and chopped out too much of that curb on the left-hand side. This curb right here. And he's gone around just like before, into the gravel, into the wall, and he's out of there. Safety car, my oh my, that's thrown everything into... Well, it's opened the race up for everybody now, hasn't it?
Because this isn't a virtual safety car, this is a full safety car, so everybody will get grouped up. This will be really detrimental to MJ. They were working on that lead on the soft tires, but the question is, with 17 seconds, 18 even between them and second place, do they see this as an opportunity to pit and not lose too much track position? Because they'll still come back in third, and on the easiest tires, yes, they are pitting. So will it be MJ, I assuming, slapping on another set of softs? Hold on, let me...
Yeah, I would say so too. I would assume everyone would be pitting. Maybe there'll be a few cars in the midfield on those soft tyres who will choose not to pit. Maybe attempt to gain a few positions under the safety car. But the top three, the top four pitting all into fresh softs, and it's going to be a sprint to the end. We might get two or three laps of racing in. Jonathan Edwards asking, is that a racing incident? Potentially, yes. I would stir towards racing incident from before.
So would I. It looked like the Alpine of Clunky was just trying to get up around the outside and just tucked their front left behind the rear right of the McLaren. It happens. If you're to quote the great man himself, we went car racing.
Motor racing. You mean Michael?
Yeah.
Yeah. It's a motor race. It's a motor race, Toto.
I love that meme. So solid. Yeah, and speaking of people who may have gained some positions under the safety car, Ash My Chin, possibly the leading culprit on 5-lap old mediums. No reason to pit there. The mediums will just be coming into their prime now. So they have gained all the way up to 4th under that safety car. And
it's going to be a tricky restart for him, though. On those mediums, it's always just more tricky to light up a harder compound compared to the soft compound. He's got Ash Ray behind him on fresh softs. He may struggle a little bit. Of course, the cars below him are also on the medium, so that'll be his saving grace. But yeah, it'll be a bit of struggle town for him, I would imagine.
Looks like Whiteford has left the session as well. I'm not sure if that was fully voluntary or not. But Whiteford...
Slightly connection issues due to this amazing Cody's created game.
Yeah,
NBN.
If only we had NBN. I'm curious to see whether the safety car is going to come in this lap, but
I would
it looks
imagine
like it's
it'll
staying
come
out.
in at the end of this lap. The pack is definitely, the second group is still quite far behind, but well, let's hope it comes out this track so we get 2 laps.
Also, I think
sorry, 3 laps.
a massive deal here. Oh, interesting camera angle. Is we have the Haas of JS44 wedged right in between, I believe, first and second place. So that is a bit of backmark traffic that Dodge will have to deal with in their pursuit in these final few laps of MJ. But still, the top 3 being on all brand new sauce. Ashray, who's very much in the vicinity as well, just separated by the 6-lap-old medians of Ouch My Chin. This is going to be an absolutely bonkers restart. Very similar to last week. Another late safety car kind of changed up the whole outcome of the race. Looking like we're heading down a very similar road here today.
Gives all those guys a good chance now. All those guys in the top 10, because they've closed the gaps now and caught up, so they're all back in it. Anybody could be in it to win it, of course, as well. Everybody with. Let's take a quick look at the penalties if we can, just before we restart this race, because the penalties are going to come into play now. 3 seconds. What's going around here? Someone's gone around coming up the hill with the 9-second penalty. Who is
That's
that?
DJ.
Yeah, that's an absolute disaster now. And I was going to say those penalties are going to cause an even bigger problem for those guys with them because it's been bunched up. Jonathan Edwards in the chat, he is keen for this restart. And I think let's be riding on board with a clunky ball on this restart, see when the leaders decide to go. But I haven't received a notice for safety car in this lap unless I missed it.
I didn't see it either. Maybe it will go around again.
That would be a shame. Michael, no!
So not right.
Michael, no! Oh, we're going around again. It's only going to be 2 racing laps, unfortunately. Michael!
So not right.
Yeah, this is not right, Michael.
God, yeah, the safety car going around again. It's just... God, all the comparisons to Abu Dhabi are here. Everybody's just trying to warm up those soft tyres. Am I alright to go back to the tyres?
Yes. We're just hopefully nobody picks up any more penalties on as we continue. But yeah, definitely something to keep in mind. Those penalties, as the group is so close together, they will make a big impact on the finishing positions.
Yeah. Also, look at this climb from MJ, biggest climber of the group, up 16 positions. Rodriguez going to 13 as well, but they were up the front for a long time, so. That one isn't super surprising. On the other side of things, I love Controller, who was pretty solid last week in Spa, not having the best of times out here, sitting just in that 10th spot. But it will be very hectic between them and all the way up to down through 11th up to 8th, I guess. There'll be battles going on.
Yep. And it's if these guys can hold on to these positions, it's going to be a good finish for McLaren, Aston Martin, and Alpine. Those guys in the top 6. Those 3 teams dominating the leaderboard at the moment.
Also, look at these stops that are coming through as well. It is MJ and Dodge both on the 2 stoppers. We were very much expecting 1 stoppers here, but
that extra stop from the safety car, of course, most people stopping. So he was originally on that one stop. The safety car in this lap. Racing will resume.
Also, can we talk about how Clunky Boy just nearly went up the back of Dodge? So that was a very, very close call. But this might actually be where MJ gets chomped up. There won't be any DRS because it's just looks like not for the rest of this race. But MJ will be giving everybody a slipstream down the main straight. So it will be the McLaren wanting to get the jump just before the straight. So hopefully they can break that slipstream.
When is he going to go? That's the question.
It's all him. Looks like they're going now.
He's gone.
They've actually gone really well. The backmark traffic at the Haas has just put Dodge in an awful position. They will not be able to benefit from that slipstream at all. But it
Great slipstream here.
They're trying to go down the inside of turn 1. Both so late on the brakes. Oh my god, Clunky pulls it off. But no, they don't. Remember what happened last time Clunky was tussling with MJ along here. They made contact, and it is a similar situation. But they do keep it on the track, and Wisso Clunky has gained up the position. But MJ, that restart could not have gone better for them.
Clunky Boy was having none of it there. He was like, I'm on the inside, and I'm holding that inside line, and he did. Hopefully he has not taken any damage from that.
wow, the balls were clunky to go for that again, and it was so nearly a similar situation.
Data getting past Rodriguez as well, a bit further down the pack. Also a couple of position changes there. Ivsky too, moving around the field. But yeah, that restart, MJ, perfect. Gets a lovely gap now. And yeah, that's going to be, the Clunky Boy's going to have to watch out from behind with Dodge behind him.
Maybe there will be another little battle going down this main straight. That's where we've seen a lot of the overtakes tonight with, typically with the helping of DRS, but obviously after the safety car, it will not be the case, so Dodge will just have to rely on the slipstream. There's quite a significant gap between them and the Alpine, so it will have to be a little bit of late braking for the Aston Martin here, but I think the gap might even be too big to go for that. Wait.
Yeah, behind, Ashray going for the move as well. He's got a slipstream on Ouch My Chin.
Wait, where am I here? Okay.
Yeah, he's gone down the inside. That medium tire just not doing that great at the minute. I saw the gap really opening up between him and the leaders, and yeah, Data also looking for a move behind, alongside him. Where is he? Somewhere there. There he goes.
They did go down the inside. It looks like that decision to not pit for Ouch My Chin, it did gain them track position, but they're losing it so quickly as well. Just nowhere near the performance of those brand new songs.
Indeed. I mean, Ashray does have a penalty, so if Ouch My Chin can hold on to that, he might be getting that position back.
Well, Clunky might have one final shot at MJ. This could very well go down to the final corner here for the Spanish Grand Prix. Keeping within half a second, Dodge a good second behind, so there's probably a secured podium for them. But the top step is still up for grabs for anybody who is able to take it. It's going to have to be really wide into this last turn, try and get it. But it looks like MJ has secured it. That restart off the safety car could not have gone better for MJ. And because of so, albeit any stewarding decisions post-race, that is going to be a win for MJ Online representing the McLaren team. And I believe that was Dodge just getting the fastest lap as well, so a few points going their way.
That's correct.
Yeah,
grabs that. Wow, yeah, that restart really shook things up there.
God, that was fantastic. Clunky Boy with another really good result as well. That will do them absolute wonders in the drivers' standings. I'll have to get them up at some point. I'll make sure I have that ready for next week. Yeah, MJ, Clunky, and Dodge rounding out the third step of the podium.
Yeah, maybe a little bit of controversy there with that little tussle between the two guys. Obviously, be waiting for that steward's decision on what happens there. But yeah, Ouch My Chin dropping a few places, but not too many. So I think maybe he was not able actually to pit under the safety car and would have lost a few too many positions from that. And you know, maybe it was a better call in the end for him.
Yeah, it might have been worth going for that pit. I'm wondering who this driver of the day is going to go to as well. I want to see who that is, because I think they appointed one last week, but I don't know if they are this week.
That's the order for your race today. MJ Online, Clunky Boy and Dodge on the podium. And then Data, Ouch My Chin, Ashray, Rodriguez, Max Strap-on, Ivsky, and I Love Control rounding off the top 10. Who did we lose? If you can just flick down to the bottom for us.
How am I meant to flick down? What?
Press Enter for advance.
Enter.
And then scroll down.
Yeah, we lost a few. We lost Andre. Oh, never mind. I'm too slow.
Yeah, it's a bit annoying. You only have a limited time to go through that.
Yeah, a bit of a stitch up there. But yeah, that is really. There's a big battle going at the top of the constructors, the drivers' championships. Excuse me. I just want to check that. Yeah, Dodge had a 1-point lead over I Love Controller going into that race. But with Clunky Boy going second place, they'll be within touching distance of that top 3 as well. There's currently Dodge on 125, I Love Controller 124, and Clunky 101. So, yeah, this top 3 is just massively close. But perhaps a bit of a disappointing result for the Williams of I Love Controller. But other than that, I don't think there were any standout unfortunate circumstances besides all the internet issues, I guess.
Yeah, that was a bit of an issue, wasn't it? But we got there at the end. We got through our technical issues and everything, so that's always good.
It really is. as you can see on the screen, next week I believe we're heading off to Singapore. Excuse round 7, we are in fact in Spain, but next week we will be in Singapore. Make sure you check out the Race Spec Discord, Twitter. I think there's a Facebook as well, all that jazz. Just get in contact with everyone. Really welcoming community. Get to play the game and go fast, go vroom vroom. Other than that, I don't think I have much else to say. Moon, do you have any parting words?
Apart from Singapore is definitely going to be one to watch next week, and what a hectic track that is. Drive and survive. That is, I think, the motto for that track. But otherwise, thanks for having me.
Hey, it has been an absolute pleasure. Thank you for teaching me the ways. I have been Nikolai. With me has been BlackMoon. We will see you next week in Singapore. Have an amazing week.